Okay, so how do I use these colored pencil techniques, creating values, to start to color in my shoe design? Okay, so this is a plain shoe, but for demonstration purposes, let's not make it super complicated. So I want to make sure that I'm picking some areas where there's gonna be light hitting. So I'm pretending that there's light that's streaming right on the shoe, which means that this sort of area in here is gonna remain lighter. Like maybe this whole area in here is gonna catch the light, and maybe this area here. This area in here is like a cylinder, right? It kind of rounds over. So we're gonna have shadows on the edges and highlights in the middle. Okay, so if I'm starting at the toe, this is purple. I might start just like a pretty light value. Again, I can layer the same color on top to create darker values, so don't start too dark. It's easier to layer it and get darker than accidentally start too dark from the beginning. But then don't be scared to take risks, right? Risk taking is on that rubric, something that I grade you on. So make sure you do eventually build up your values so that you are getting that full range, and it will look 3D that way. So down here, sunlight might not catch it as much, or whatever light is shining on the shoe, light source. And so here we go. So again, I'm using gradients, right? It's not a direct change, it's a gradual change, slow change from light to dark. So I don't want to just color it in. It's not a coloring book. You're actually trying to use what we've learned this whole semester, incorporating line and shadow value, all at once into this project, so that this is your final project of the semester. So we're trying to bring in everything we've learned, texture, so you can show me how far you've come from the beginning of the year when we were just doing blind contour drawings. Now I'm just strategizing. Where do I need it to be a little bit darker? Where do I need it to be lighter? I want it lighter towards the center of the shoe. This kind of curves in, right? So might go a little bit darker in here. And like, look at your shoe, or take a picture of your shoe and the structure of it. Where do you think that it should have a highlight or shadow? So once I have something like this, and if I want to experiment with baby oil, you see how it's almost like a sphere, right? It looks like it's kind of curving over. Like a foot could fit inside of this. Okay, so if I'm gonna experiment with baby oil, I just need a little tiny bit on the Q-tip, and then I can, basically it takes away all that white space. You don't want to wipe it away completely, And you don't want too much baby oil on the tip of your Q-tip, or else what's gonna happen is it's gonna start bleeding through your paper or bleeding out into the edges, and then it will look messy. So I know this is like really simple, and you might be doing a more advanced design, or maybe you're doing textures like scales or spikes and things like that. So, you know, like if I had a spike on my shoe, say they're only at the top of the shoe. All right, then I might choose a color. And it's a cone. So you want to think of things in your geometric shapes, your geometric forms. And you don't have to blend everything with baby oil. Like because this is a really small area, I might not blend this at all with baby oil. But you do want things to appear like they have some kind of value changes, and that you're paying attention to value. Okay? So that's the little demo, and I hope that this will help you sort of get started as you're coloring in your shoes.